Hello, Divine Feminine, you beautiful awakening souls. Today is Thursday. It's your shadow reading today for your Divine Masculine. Tuesday, we were doing the Divine Masculine readings, but we have decided to move those over to Friday just so that you are aware. So the ones that we were doing and the layout that we were doing on Tuesdays will now be done on Fridays instead. We'll also have your Saturday and Sunday readings. So they'll be all happening toward the weekend, which I just think is a better day for those. And then the other days of the week, we will be doing content videos that I think you guys will also enjoy. So right now we've been working pretty tirelessly on the course that we're developing, which we are hoping to have out very, very soon. We're getting closer and closer every day, and I think you guys are really going to like it. So if you are interested, stay posted and stay tuned. That information will be available soon. If you guys can, please like and subscribe if you like our videos and you haven't done so already. It really helps us a lot, and we appreciate your support. All right, let's get into this reading. What is it that Divine Masculine needs to accept? What's going on with Divine Masculine, and what is it that they need to accept? All right, for this, we have King of Pentacles in reverse. So with King of Pentacles in reverse, it looks like they've got a lot of jealousies and tendency to not follow through on promises. So there's certain things that your Divine Masculine's been going through that are causing them to have fear and insecurity that rise up in the form of jealousy. It could be directed toward you. It could be directed toward other people. It could be directed in multiple ways. I mean, it's probably surfacing in a lot of different ways for your Divine Masculine, but it's all stemming from a feeling of a lack of worth and poor self-esteem. And this actually translates into a behavior that is a lack of follow through. They may make plans and not follow through on them. They may say they're going to do things, but then, the words are there, but the actions never back up the words. And this isn't because the intention isn't there at the time that the things are being said or stated, but it's more around the fact that they don't have the self-esteem and the confidence in themselves or the structure and organization in their mental, emotional, and physical world to actually follow through with these, hopes and dreams and aspirations that they're stating. Now, this is a temporary place for your Divine Masculine. They're not going to stay there. This is a growth phase that they're going through. So it's not something that you will see forever in your Divine Masculine, but for right now, it's coming from these insecurities. And so once these insecurities have been, looked at, acknowledged, accepted, and dealt with, then your Divine Masculine is going to level up and start, creating from a different space. They are going through this ascension process just like you. It may not look exactly the same, but they are going through it nonetheless. And this is a part of the steps and stages that they're going through that need to happen. They're a part of their journey. So what is it that they need to forgive? 5 of Pentacles. With 5 of Pentacles in this position, they need to forgive things that have happened in their life, either from other parties, family, relationships, and themselves, for things that have happened that have resulted in traumas that they've experienced. The event itself, of course, it's traumatic in the day of that it happens or that it takes place. But the way that we continue to torture ourselves with these things over long periods of time are choices that we make and part of the process of learning and growing. The art of alchemy is to take lead and turn it into gold. And there's a lot of meaning behind that. There's dimensions to that. There's not one specific explanation. It's more of an art that transcends and, traverses into lots of areas in our life. So, holding on to traumas isn't something that's always, it is a choice, but it's also not a choice. That's the paradox. It's there until it's not necessary anymore. It's there to teach us and show us something. And when the lesson is learned, then we can let it go. So there's value and purpose in it, even when it's something difficult, even when we've been wronged or hurt or harmed. There is something of value that can be extracted from it. So the hurt and the harm would be the lead, and the gold is the lesson. It's the higher aspects of these experiences that we can take to create wisdom. And so your divine masculine needs to forgive some of the things that have happened in their life, toward others and towards their own mistakes. They can't beat themselves up. That's exactly what's contributing to the low self-esteem and the low self-worth, is being extraordinarily difficult on themselves and hard on themselves. And oftentimes the people that are difficult on other people or difficult toward other people, it's because they're being more difficult toward themselves first and foremost. So if somebody's highly critical of you, they're probably highly critical of themselves. If somebody is, jealous or angry or upset or feeling certain ways toward you that don't quite fit, it's probably because they're being very difficult on themselves. They've got a lot of insecurities that they're dealing with, and a lot of mental patterns and perspectives that they may not tell the whole world about, but they're still suffering with. And your divine masculine appears to be going through some of these phases. So what is it that they need to release? What is it that they need to release? We have what they need to accept. We have what they need to forgive. But what do they need to release, right? What will forgiveness allow them to release? So acceptance is seeing what it is. Forgiveness is letting it go. And then releasing it is like, just now it's done. I guess forgiveness is processing it and then really, this next step right here is letting it go, letting it be released, and it's no longer something that's binding you anymore. And so for this, we have a Knight of Pentacles. With Knight of Pentacles, your divine masculine is going to step into a place of personal power. Once they've accepted the things that have happened and then gone into that phase of forgiveness and letting that transformational process happen, transmuting something, alchemizing it into a higher level of perspective so that they can extract and gain the goodness from it, so that they can, step back into their power, take their power back. Some people will call this reframing. There's different ways, psychology calls it different things, religions call it different things, but ultimately it's the same thing. It's processing the things that have happened to us in order to allow us to learn and then grow and move forward. And so once that's happened, your divine masculine is going to step into a place of great personal power. They're going to feel great about themselves, and they're going to start having a more positive perspective on the outside world. And they're going to stop being so hard on other people. They're not going to be so difficult to be around, and they're going to be far more reliable because they're going to have a deeper understanding of themselves, and they're going to also have much more of a connection to their personal integrity. And that's going to benefit themselves and everyone around them, including you, divine feminine. You're going to see some changes at that point in your divine masculine toward a more positive outcome. Now, what can they learn? What is it that they can learn from all of this? Okay, or what is it that they have learned from all of this? I think is a better question. What have they learned through this process? And for this, we have 8 of Wands in reverse. So with 8 of Wands in reverse, frustrations, difficulties, problems that they've come into have all taught them specific things. And it's given them an ability to be able to see things with more clarity. It's allowed them to travel into aspects and parts of life that they didn't even realize were a possibility before. And they realize now that a lot of what they thought and believed or perceived the world to be was actually an illusion. And they've learned to break free from some of those patterns, and that they have the power and the ability to do that. And they're starting to learn more and more about what it is that they want, who they want to be, and what their divine mission is here in this world. Now, part of their divine mission that they may still not be aware of at this moment is the twin flame connection that they have with you. They may never understand this the exact same way that you do, but that's because they're not necessarily meant to. Just like you're never going to fully understand it from their perspective. Why do we watch all of these tarot readings? Because we're trying to figure out the divine masculine, right? We're like, why do they tick the way they tick? I don't get it. I don't understand them. That's because their journey is for them and meant for them to understand. And yours is for you, meant for you to understand. And it's the left hand and the right hand having two different experiences, yet serving the betterment and the higher good of the body, the wholeness of the body that they both are a part of and belong to. Two bodies, one soul, two different paths, one destination. Okay, two experiences for the greater good of the consciousness itself. And so allowing them to go through this process and just loving and trusting the experience that you're having and allowing them to have theirs with no expectations and just an absolute unshakable and firm belief that the soul knows what it's doing is going to help your mind and body align with you, the soul. Notice how I said that. You, the soul. You're not the mind and you're not the body. You have a mind and a body. Your divine masculine has a mind and a body. But what's at the root of all of that? The soul. Who is the soul? Who are you? Where can they seek healing and recovery? What a great card for this. The Hermit. Your divine masculine needs to go within. They must go within. That is the human design. That is the purpose of meeting each other. That is the entire reason that humanity, that's like the pursuit of humanity. But we don't know it, right? The most beautiful miracle that we could ever discover or find is hidden in a place that most never even think to look. Your divine masculine needs to go to the only place that they can find their own truth, their own justice, their own wisdom, their own love and sanctuary. And it's the same place that you can find it, divine feminine. It's the place that you're both connected. This is a quest for personal truth, spiritual illumination. You're on that quest. That is the divine mission. That is the divine mission, and you're already on it with your twin flame. It's not a place you have to get to. It's not a place you have to get to. Now, in this quest for personal healing and recovery and wholeness and enlightenment, where can your divine masculine get help? How can they get help to go within? 10 of Swords. They will receive help from the universe, but it will be a painful process. And I think if anyone here can understand that journey, it's you, Divine Feminine. It's you. Look how many swords are going through this person here. 10. Tenfold. The universe gives us what we need before it can give us what we want. We need to realize that want is lack. Want is an absence of faith. You already are what you seek. Your divine masculine already is what they seek. How do you find that? You get to a place where the outside world gives you so much pain that you have no other place but to seek solace in the only place that it can be found, in the journey within. The journey within. Divine Feminine, I sure do love you guys. I sure do love you guys. I'm going to use, what do I want to use today? What am I feeling here? What am I feeling? I'm going to go with, why am I struggling with this? I'm feeling torn between my Amenti Oracle and my Law of Attraction. And I am just feeling pushed toward this one. So we're going to go with the Oracle of Amenti. The Oracle of Amenti. Living with a feather heart. I was driving by, I think it was a bank the other day, and I saw a sign that looked a little bit like a caduceus with 2 scales. And I thought to myself, interesting. This is the way that the universe speaks to us, through these symbols, signs, and synchronicities, if we're paying attention. And I thought, interesting, there's some stories out there that in order to get into heaven, your heart has to be light as a feather, and that there's someone standing at the gates deciding whether or not your heart is light as a feather. What in the world would that be? They put your heart, or they put you on a scale, or I think it's your heart that they put on a scale, and they weigh it against a feather. And if it's not balanced with that feather, then you have to go back and be recreated and reincarnated and go through your life again until your heart is light as a feather. Now, I might be botching this up because this is a story that I heard years and years ago, maybe even a decade ago, but I remember it. And when I passed by that scale, that kind of had the little bit, it wasn't actually a caduceus, but it kind of had the resemblance of that, and a caduceus is the symbol of your awakening, and the 2 serpents that travel up the spine and create enlightenment, and then you have the wings at the top, and there's so much depth in that. But the awakening experience is meant to balance you out through duality. And so I thought, what an interesting symbol to have on this sign for this bank, where it kind of looks a little bit like the caduceus, and then it's also the symbol of, Libra, which is balance. And the journey yourself that you're on with your twin flame is all about, harmony and balance. That's what it's leading you toward, is balancing yourself out with the divine masculine and divine feminine within you. And inner harmony creates outer harmony. And so I thought, that's a lot like that story, light as a feather. Your heart needs to be light as a feather. Well, what would that mean? Balance, right? Harmony, the twin flame journey, understanding the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you. Balancing those 2 energies out, creating enlightenment, at one minute. So anyway, I don't know why I felt like I needed to tell you guys that story, but I did. So maybe that will mean something to someone out there as well. Interesting. Look at that. That's really cool, actually. Do you guys see what I see? Do you see what I see? I am peaceful. Balance, right? The chakra system, enlightenment, and it's kind of a symbol of like a caduceus or a chakra, and the enlightenment on the crown. A little bit like what we were just talking about. Let's see what the card itself says. I'm very curious now. These ones always take me a minute. I'm going to pause it while I find the spot. Okay, I just flipped this over because I was going to try to find it in this book. Okay, and I went like this, and I kind of looked, and I was like, wait, what is that? And then I looked. Look at this, you guys. Do you see what I see? This is a scale. What is on there? Feathers. What is also on there? What looks like a heart. That's freaky and weird, you have to admit. I was just talking about that. Freaky and weird in all the best kinds of ways, right? We know how the universe works. We know how God speaks to us. How freaking cool is that, though, you guys? I love that. And look, there's little ravens, too. You guys know how much I love ravens. But how cool is that? This is about balance and harmony. This is the chakra right here, right? That's what this is symbolizing. Your heart, light as a feather. Balance and harmony. Neutrality. 0 point. 0 point right there in the center. Anyway, I was quite shocked when I pulled that because I saw these synchronicities in this, and I was being pulled toward pulling this deck, right? I was feeling torn between the two, and ultimately I felt that this one had the stronger magnetism. So I picked it, and of course, I'm not disappointed, and I hope you're not either. So I have to pause this one more time because I still haven't even found the page. One sec. All right, I found it. The only bad thing about this, I love this deck, this Oracle deck. It's awesome. But everything in here is numbered, right? So each one has a number, but they don't put the number on the card. And so it takes forever to find in the book, you know, and the pages are all sticky. I don't know, it's pain. That part's the pain. I wish they would have put the numbers on the cards. Maybe I'll go through someday and put the numbers on myself. But until then, we'll just live with it. Okay, so I am peaceful. From the moment we enter this world and begin our passage through time, the sands in the hourglass of the soul begin to move. Time is the illusion of each moment moving past. The speed of life shifts with the pace of our awareness. With each moment, the sounds of the soul descend to form a cosmic pattern, which our individual part in history manifests through creation. While chaos is presented during our journey through this illusion, contrast gives the soul's story color. And if we remain at peace with each chapter, the momentum of peacefulness can bring dimension and beauty to all of the passages of experience. To be at peace is to be one with what is finding ease in the all, serenity in silence, and seeking calm even in the middle of the storm. Allowing the light of your heart to shine through the darkest hours can bring the daylight of peace even during the dark night of the soul. Every inhalation, every second, every minute, and every hour is a precious opportunity to ease into peacefulness before we are met with our final exaltation back into the all that is. To seek peace is to be one with peacefulness. To be one with peacefulness is to appreciate every part of the particles that make up the matter of the meaningfulness that is you. A popular platitude that is often echoed in spiritual teachings is the notion that dis-ease is caused by dis-ease. And when we are feeling dis-ease, we are unaware of the consequences of thought, immersed in regret for time lost or anxious over our actions or inaction. When we want, wish, or worry, we forfeit our faith and lose the potential for peace, for the all of it all. We cannot control the current on which time moves, but we can control how we navigate the tides through our thought, breath, and emotional responses. If an intention for anything is set in the heart, the universe will respond, and the correspondence that will be communicated back to you will follow the truth at the root of your desire. If what you will is based solely in want, You will receive exactly what you need. Holy crap. And what you need may not feel pleasant, but there is always a lesson. Forgive my pause, but I just feel like this is such validation to the reading that we just had. If what you will is truly what you wish for, you will receive that wish in time, and usually when you least expect it. But there is always a lesson. It is essential to remember the ideal of peace, and that ease is not always found when we receive what we are hoping for in a material and or experiential sense. Attachment creates suffering, and it is the attachment to a given result that takes us out of relationship to the harmony of creation. If every wish were granted, then where would our dreams go? What are dreams but projections of hope and reflections of the heart imprinted in the astral realm of infinite potential? Peace is ease with the dream of creativity, and faith in knowing every why will be answered within the hourglass of time. I really don't even feel like I need to say anything about that. I think you guys can see all the connections in this card with the reading that we just had. And as much as I find these synchronicities miraculous each and every time, I also feel like, could it be more obvious to any of us that we are a part of and connected to all things? And that the universe is always there with us. We're never truly alone. There's no such thing as chance, and there's no such thing as coincidence. The universe is in you, and you are in it. All is one, all is the same. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you guys tomorrow for your Divine Masculine reading. Take care.